against God. Jesus said that they hated him, they will hate those who preach his gospel. Jesus Christ is the most hated man on planet Earth today. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. But God will prevail because he is the King of kings and the Lord of lords. He is the King of compassion, the lily of the valley. He is the great I am, the Alpha and Omega. He is the beginning and the last. He is the Lion of Judah.
Ask questions that are the deepest. What is a religious extremist? A terrorist with the Wahhabi thesis? Pedo priest, praying to Jesus, a rabbi, circumcising a penis, gesturing God, acting fiendish, lecturing mobs back. Who is the cleanest? Claiming we're equal, acting elitist. Listen up, there's lies in his sermons. Why's that? Your vicar is vermin. Hypocrites ain't hard to determine. Gotta rise up, be wise like a serpent. Beware the safety of serpents who prey on the weak, better than burden. Dissidents are destined for burning. Indoctrination is different to learning. You know the fables are coded. Demons, angels, the meaning's eroded. Reasons known by those who devoted. Revised, rewrote and promoted. Years past, scriptures unfolded. The names changed but never the motive. Translated, wildly misquoted. Sugar-coated, violent, corrosive notions. Charged with bitter emotions. Boarded ships and sail across oceans. Holy books, gunpowder explosions. Hiding text like Trojans. Insidious lines were spoken. Indigenous minds were broken. Many tread the path of the chosen. And then stepped with a hoop full of cloven.
But many people want to curse him, but they still, he is with who he is. He's Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus Christ, God's perfect man and man's perfect God. You can't say that you haven't been warned on the day of judgment. Change your ways and turn to God. Because one day you will die.
Dangerous statements. Third degree burns in hospital patients. Far-reaching increased engagement. Fast-speaking procedure replacements. Unleashing verbal wordplay, leave them seething. Gasping, belly breathing, fasting. No more eating, no more 8-bar repeating. You can't greet me with seasoned greetings when we've got preachers teaching kids Satan's teachings, degrading heathens, concrete beliefs, no reasons. False idols in league with demons. Across unsecular regions, imams, rabbis, priests, and deacons. From the studio to the stadium, your basic levels, I'm raising them. I drop knowledge to expand the cranium. Free your mind, never enslaving them. No games, I don't play with them. I make a sample sweat gymnasium under the radar. Subterranean bars made hard with a full titanium. From the booth to the bleachers, install the truth for the mouth of the teachers. Elevate youth, Babylon's reaches. Renegade disfiguring features. Purge inconsiderate creatures. From the earth to the love increases. Urge all illiterate leaders. Learn my words, get further through the speakers.
You will stand before the judgment seat, the Bible says, and he will remind you of your evil ways. You'll be afraid and scared, and you will not be able to say nothing. I'm telling you, you can go to a place called heaven where the streets are made of gold, the Bible says, where there's joy and peace. You can go to heaven where you drink from the throne of God, crystal clear water, you'll never thirst. But if you go to hell, you will thirst throughout eternity. In heaven, the gates are made out of pure pearl. The walls are made out of jasper. And you have precious stones in the walls, but the gates of hell will be old, rusted iron gates. If you die today, will you cry out beyond the gates of hell throughout eternity?
How do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
Greetings, humble dwellers of this crater realm. You are tuned into the exclusive broadcast each and every goddamn Friday night. This is Rise Above. My name is Double LMC, and my co-host is Mr. Andy P to the goddamn G.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm not bad. Not bad.
Stoked we've got Mr. Inner Guardians back this
Whoa.
evening.
How lucky are we? Who tuned into last week's show? Before we say anything, guys, if you're new to Rise Above, if you didn't check out last week's 6-hour monster stream or any of the 2 1-hour edits I put up with the teachings of Inner Guardians, aka Master Lee,
Next level.
that's what he's known as now.
Yeah.
The comment section people, they coined it. It's Master Lee. You know, if you haven't seen last week, this week's going to be deep because we're going to be going further in depth.
Yeah.
And we're going to be having a big Q&A. As I've said before, everyone, right? Let's just do a little screen share here. Inner Guardians is back this week. If you have questions about anything he said last week, metaphysical personal protection, non-physical personal protection, the trivium, almost got it wrong then, the quadrivium, the 7 liberal arts, questions about any of this, he spoke about a lot more as well. Get your questions ready because Inner Guardians is going to be with us in exactly 23 minutes.
Lance, just before we go any further,
Yes, absolutely.
I think we need to give a shout out to this gentleman.
Oh my days. Big up Mr. Martin Edwards.
Good evening, Mr. Martin.
Martin Edwards, I've known him for a long time before Rise Above started. A good friend, a fellow beacon of truth. And Martin's been very, very super generous to Rise Above and made an amazing contribution to our GoFundMe page. I'm going to speak about that a little bit later. But I'll tell you what, I'll say right now, we are going to dedicate a show to Martin coming up soon.
Sure are.
It's going to be all about Health Chancellor Gates. His
Veganism,
because Martin is a vegan, and quite, I wouldn't say he's a vegan activist. He was a very proud vegan, a very forthcoming vegan. Okay, so yeah, big up Martin, mate. We'll be chatting about that in a bit. Right, so we've got so much to get through. There is absolutely no time to waste. Everyone in the comment section, let us know how we are sounding. This is Rise Above. It is your standard Friday night with the 5 or 6 hour business, as we do. All the topics that you want to talk about that no one else is talking about. So we are currently broadcasting on 4 stations, 2 on Facebook, my personal page, oh dear, my MC page, Double LMC, and we're also broadcasting on 2 channels on YouTube, Double LMC and Rise Above Live.
There's a lot going on here.
There's a lot going on, right? But I'm going to tell you, this is a 5-hour stream. The only place the 5-hour stream is available is on the YouTube station, Rise Above Live. The link is in the description to this stream. In about 40 minutes to an hour, when things get a little bit too juicy, a little bit too saucy for the algorithm and the technocratic overlords of the COVID Union, they don't want to hear that. So we're going to switch over to Rise Above Live. If you are tuned in on the other stations, please make your way over and subscribe. Right. Also, big up everyone in the Telegram station, Rise Above Official. And don't forget, you can also find us riseabove.news, www.riseabove.news. All of our content, original stories, other creators, all of the videos, the ultimate hub of Rise Above. Right. What's going on here? Like below the show. The love fam, thanks very much to our new producer Evelyn in the corner. Yeah, guys, please share the stream. Let's get as many people tuned in. We've got groundbreaking information. Thank you to everyone that has donated on GoFundMe this week. We've bought new mouse, new leads. We've got a whole nother screen over here. We've got a producer. Big thank you to Debbie Purdom. Massive thank you to Yogi, Stephen Smith. Big up my brother. Nice chat this week as well. Andrew Williams, Alia Saeed, Sarah Walsh, Simon Webbling, Maria Whitlock, Dan Geach, Viviani Madonna, my tarot reader, Jason Pursglove, and a massive thank you, as we already said, to Martin Edwards for his very, very generous donation. I've now got enough in the kitty to buy the equipment we need and keep the streams going for another couple of months. So thank you very much for everyone that's donated. I'll always show you how we're upgrading it. You can see how we're upgrading every single week. You're not blind, are you? Right. Okay, so the T-shirts are sold out, by the way. Old T-shirts, the old design. If you didn't get it, you're late, you're slow, you didn't get to the party. The next time those Rise Above T-shirts come around, the original design like this, it's going to be a little while. The new design is this one, Rise Above Live. It's actually going to be bigger. I've got a new proof, bigger logo. And on the left here is some of my artwork. I'm planning to put some of this. I like this no rabbit holes, only whole rabbits thing.
Sure.
I chatted to you about this, didn't I? Chatted to Matt Shawfire about this. So we're going to...
I love the top left.
The top left.
Top left one. Really.
I thought we have the rising sun in the eye, but yeah, the time.
Eye of Saurus.
The eye of Saurus. The time is rise above, in case you didn't already know. Right. So once again, this is our 17th stream. What number is 17? It's halfway to 33.
And it's also Q.
It's also Q, which we might talk to in Guardians about later, because that's turned out to be a bit of a damp squib.
Yeah, we've
in
got some
many
issues
people's
with that.
opinion. So this is our 17th stream. There's going to be 85 hours online. We are still looking for a video editor. You can be a part of our team. Here's the competition. 80 plus hours of Rise Above is downloadable online. You can use any software, a PC, a Mac, a phone app, a tablet app. Produce a 3 to 5 minute, doesn't have to be that, can be longer or shorter, 3 to 5 minute best of compilation, bloopers reel, favorite guests, whatever you want to make this little bite-sized piece of Rise Above. Use your creative endeavors. You don't need any editing experience. If you don't know how to do transitions or superimpose the logos, I don't care. I can teach you that. I want someone that wants to be a part of the team, and there's a place on our team open. So we're looking for a new team member to edit our videos for us. Here's what you can get: an official team membership and a lifetime supply of Rise Above t-shirts. Every time a new one comes out, you'll get one sent straight to you. You'll have access to team members' chat groups. We discuss and plan the show every week. Myself, Andy PG,
That's it.
Spoken Word Nerd, Magix, Oma Beats, Matt Shawfire. You'll be part of the team.
103 people tuned in, guys.
Boom. Hang tight, everyone that's tuned in on a Friday night that likes talking about things that are true while also having a laugh. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
in a nutshell.
for sure.
So this is an opportunity. I'm not going to go too much. You can be part of our team. You can be involved in our website, t-shirt design, etc., etc. Email. I'm going to put it up here. So I'm going to show the banner of our brand new email address. Any information you want to send us. Where's it gone? riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. I will repeat. riseabovelivestream@gmail.com. Send in your 3 to 5 minute video edits to win the competition and be a part of our amazing media team. No experience is needed. Don't worry. I had no experience in video editing 18 months ago. I'm self-taught, started on free apps on a phone, on a tablet. Now I have 3 screens of Adobe, and we're making music videos and 6-hour streams. It's fun. It's great to learn. The competition ends next week. I need an entry first. Do you remember our last competition? Do you remember the last competition?
Well, we only had Virus Man, didn't we?
We had a meme competition. For anyone that's been with us since the start, you remember our first Friday night competition. Come up with a meme for the Greta reset. And what happened? What happens?
We had one entry, but
one single lone entry.
Turns out that was all we needed.
We only needed one. One
Virus
is all we need.
Man
Virus
2020,
Man,
RIP.
Virus Man, wherever you are, if you're watching, we miss you, brother.
He's out there. I know
he's out there. Right. I tell you what. Should we say goodbye yet? No, it's only 15 minutes. No, it's not saucy enough yet. I won't say goodbye. So let me introduce our guest from last week. Reintroduce our guest from last week. He is a martial arts legend, the godfather of UK MMA. He is also a close solutions protection specialist. He's a personal protection specialist of the physical and the non-physical type. He also is the creator of Inner Guardians on YouTube. And since last week, I do believe this subscribership has rocketed.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
He was much slept on. When he came on last week, he really expanded on a lot of stuff. And allow me to introduce our very special guest once again, Master Lee from Inner Guardians. How are we doing?
Hello, everybody.
Good evening.
Sounding good, Lee. Let everyone, comment section, make sure we haven't got any echo. Lee, if you could just say a little hello to everyone.
Yep. Hello, everybody in the chat. Is it okay?
We got a little delay, but they'll let us know if there's any echoing. No echoing over there.
Sounds
right.
fine.
The producer said it's good. So welcome back, Lee, mate. We've got a lot to discuss off the back of last week, as everybody knows. I hope everyone's got their questions ready for you. But before we do that, we will carry on with our regular sort of trip to a very special ideological
the land
space.
of the prosperous.
The land of the prosperous, right? So we're going to suspend all the logic for a moment, and we're going to take a quick trip to the Soviet Union. Okay, so now we're in the Soviet Union. We've got Master Lee on the panel. He's going to be commenting on the crazy shit that we're going to be unveiling from this week's events in the land where logic has been suspended. And why not invite one more of our regular panel, Mr. Spoken Word Nerd? Let's get the screen back in there as well. Spoken Word Nerd, how you doing, mate? Week's events.
Hey,
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I heard a slight echo in the background, but that'll be gone. So, welcome to the Soviet Union.
Lads, evening, Lee.
Good evening. Do I call you spoken or word nerd?
Oh, I don't mind, mate. I really don't
We use
mind.
both. We use both.
Lance
call him word
calls me everything. Yeah.
We called him Word Nerd here in the studio.
I call him Sprechen Sie Word Nerd. Yeah, it's all good. You in the Guardians, right? I hope you don't mind this new name that has been coined last week, Master Lee, because that's what everyone's been calling you in the emails in the comment section. I hope you don't mind that.
Well, you can call me pretty much what you like. I generally wouldn't refer to myself as a master.
Well, that's what all true masters would say, isn't it? That's the right answer from Master Lee.
Humble master.
Humble Master Lee. Right.
Yeah,
So
try and remember, it's not about me. It's about everybody as an individual coming together to rise above.
Well, that's what Master Lee would say, isn't it? No, that's excellently put. And that little chat that we were having before the stream. Can you just echo what you said about what it was about this platform that drew you to it?
Well, there's a number of things. One of them is the name. I don't think it's a coincidence that it's called Rise Above, and like with Inner Guardians, so it's all about going in and rising above.
Yeah, and
pretty good.
I've often said in some of my speeches the reason I chose Rise Above rather than Rise Up, or Rise Up has sort of connotations to Marxism and revolutions. The way that I looked at it is if you rise directly upwards, you always have to break through a barrier, which I guess you would call the denying force. My concept to rise above was actually to sort of supersede it and not to have to rise up directly through anything, just to go around the side and just go completely above it. And that's what the concept was. So, hey, if it worked on Master Lee, it's good enough for everyone else. So, right, back to the slideshow. Right, what's been going on this week in this new...
Mate, we've had a lot going on this week.
There's always a lot going on. So, yeah, big up Virus Man. He's been coining all of these memes that he made months ago.
I'm actually a little upset.
I'm well
he
upset.
hasn't got in contact with us.
This meme here in the bottom left, it's for your own safety, comrade. Show me your digital immunity passport. That was made 4 months ago.
Sure.
Well, here we are. I can drop that meme now on Facebook and it will get 200 likes.
Yep, that's right.
And you know we've got a catacomb of these memes ready to go. Right, I'm waffling again. Latest news from the Soviet Union. This is raw about what happened last week. Master Lee, I hope you agree. These people are magicians. They know that human consciousness co-creates reality based on what the mind believes to be true and real. This process is amplified when instilled in the crowd consciousness. These magicians are projecting what they want into your mind, so you build it for them. And with the Soviet Union that's unraveling around us, I find this particularly fitting.
Yeah, I'd say this is literally spot on to a T.
Yeah, well, what we say is it doesn't matter if you believe in magic or not. They definitely do.
That's right.
Mate, I've been saying that for a long time. People take the piss out of me for talking about numerology, about sacred geometry, about sigil magic.
I've got a good little, when people say, "Oh, I don't believe in that," it won't affect me. Okay, Mark Passio. I always remember when I first discovered Mark Passio, because when I try to talk to some of my family members about this, they don't believe in magic and sorcery and all that sort of stuff. So they just fob it off the tee. It doesn't really affect me. Well, you don't have to believe in something to be physically affected by it. You think Mark Passio said if you are sitting in a restaurant and some far, deranged Christian group go and shoot up an abortion clinic or something, which happens to be next to the restaurant, and you're sitting outside and you get hit in the crossfire, you're going to have a very physical negative effect from their belief system. It's got nothing to do with you. And I thought that was a great way of putting it. So just because people don't believe in magic, sorcery, the occult, anything like this, doesn't mean it's not going to have negative
Here's another good one.
connotations.
Here's another good one I've heard right in this vein. Astrology. Millionaires don't believe in astrology, but billionaires do.
Sure.
People that move billions of pounds around, like, okay, look at everything that's all of the dates of the Soviet Union as the dictatorship has rolled in and out. Has anyone else noticed that they all fall on either dates in the lunar or the solar calendar?
Sure.
Yeah.
Pagan multiple pagan calendars.
Isn't June the 21st when Boris, what do we call him, Lord Potato Head?
Lord Potato Head.
Is going to apparently drop all these restrictions? Isn't that the summer solstice?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is that coincidence?
Well, it's the
Coincidence theory.
Yeah, coincidence or complicity theory. Right, back to the slides. So I think we've covered that. Yeah, I believe this. They are.
I'd say that is the most accurate wording for what's being attempted.
Yeah, this is layman's terms. But it's very fitting, I think. So let's have another quote from Zuby. The reason I keep getting on about this guy is I want him to come on the show. I think he's an absolute badass, and he's from my hometown. It's insane that I have to explain why government's coercing perfectly healthy people to inject themselves with a foreign substance in order to win back their basic freedoms is an extremely dangerous precedent. But here we are, and they think I'm the insane one. I mean, this doesn't need any attachments.
No, it's self-explanatory.
It's self-explanatory. But this guy has gained an astronomical following just by telling the truth and making these very obvious statements, which is crazy.
How big is Zuby? Like, you know,
well, I'm going to tell the truth. I hope Zuby's watching, right? Level. I've known Zuby since day one, and he wasn't the most successful rapper. He did all right, but in the last 5 years, as soon as he started doing podcasts and talking like this, he now has the best part of 1 million followers. So
he's got a good reach.
Mate, he's an A grade podcaster. He was on Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan got him on his podcast.
Right.
And he didn't talk about music once. So, yeah.
Sure.
Big up Zuby. Right.
We said that. I think we should get him on the show.
I'd love him to come on. I think I've messaged him, but he has big people on his podcast. Like big people. He has millions of views, mate.
Sure.
But I'd love to. Master Lee, what are you saying about this? A famous Matrix meme. Remastered.
Yeah, that's a classic quote in the film.
Do not try to make sense of the coronavirus pandemic and response. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. Resets.
There is no Soviet 1984. There's only the Greta reset.
Yeah, and, the trick with this is everything's compartmentalized, so it's very difficult. Well, it shouldn't be difficult after 2020 to be able to join up some of the dots or enough of the dots to realize that it's not about one thing. It's actually, with TikTok,
a plethora of things.
Yeah.
You talked a lot last week about 2020 being a test, didn't you?
Yeah, well, it's a significant year. 2020 is 2020 vision. Also, if you split the two, you've got two 20s. Also, it creates a divide. So you've got 2020. Like I said, there's a split in almost humanity between those who have got the knowledge, those that want the knowledge, and those that don't care, pretty much, for the most part.
And I reckon the don't care section is probably the biggest one, in my opinion.
Yeah, probably 80%.
Yeah, unfortunately. We say that with a solemn tone in our voice. Let's move on. Okay, so let's have a little giggle. This representation, this Pepeism that we right here, this is like tinfoil hat conception a little bit, isn't it? Like I can see the producer smiling at this one. Pepe is forcing that trans-dimensional, that metaphysical red pill directly into the forehead of the grey NPC class.
Straight to the pineal gland.
Straight to the pineal gland, but it just goes straight through like a wormhole. This a lot of people wouldn't get this whatsoever. But to me, this speaks like a book. We talked about NPCs last week in your presentation in The Guardian.
And they're all connected by the blue wire.
Oh, yeah, the hive mind. The liberal hive mind.
That's it.
That's actually quite a good YouTube station, Liberal Hive Mind.
Yeah.
You ever watched that?
No.
Makes about 10 videos a day. He goes, I cannot stop highlighting the abundant hypocrisy of the left. That's the introduction of his videos. Oh, right. Yeah. Anyway, we rise above the left and right divide. Kedawami Asini, big up our Rastafari crew from
Good
Bristol.
evening, Mr. Asini.
Better late than never, my king. Where is Royal Dan Imperial? Haven't seen him for ages. Okay, next up, I think we've got another meme along the same vein. Let's go a little bit deeper. Oh,
Yeah, that one.
look at the look on
the dry force feed, deep throat red pill.
Now, I know people get pissed off when we talk about Trump, and we try to be quite neutral. I'm quite open. I just think he's an entertaining character. I definitely think he undid at least some of the crap that the other half of the deep state were doing. Yeah, he's an elitist. I don't care. He's entertaining, and he forced a red pill down a lot of people's throats.
Yes, he did.
We've had some interesting chats about this phenomenon, haven't we, in the Guardians?
Yeah. I'm still sort of sitting on the fence largely with regards to.
Will
Mr.
you
Trump.
be open to questions about that Quentin sounding phenomenon, the 17th letter phenomenon? Will you be open to questions about that later?
Sure. Yep.
Okay, cool. Because there is a question. Right, up next.
Yeah, good.
Right, who remembers the film They Live? This is our viewership. I've checked it on YouTube. It's old enough to remember this film. Trust me. Average age 38. They Live. What they want is us fighting. And remember, in They Live, I can't remember Rowdy Piper's co-star, this gentleman here, that he just didn't want to see. His best mate could see the truth because he put on the glasses, and they fought. And this is known as the most epic fight scene in the whole of Hollywood history. Does anybody know this?
No.
Because this fight scene between Roddy Piper and this actor went on for like a good 5 or 6 minutes.
Right.
And although it's 80s and it's a bit cheesy, it's actually heralded as being the most realistic fight scene in cinema history. Anyone don't believe me? Look it up.
Nice.
So anyway, when he grabs in a headlock, they've been fighting, both bloodied up for 6 minutes. He puts the glasses on his best mate, and then he can see. And what happens when you see once? You can never
see.
ever unsee again, as we all know. So here's a pictorial representation of an obedient Soviet citizen that is choosing very, very hard with every ounce of their essence not to see.
You've got the multiple masks there. You've got the
How safe would you be with that many masks?
You've got in the I like the Neuralink there. Is
that the
It's
Neuralink?
clearly the Neuralink, isn't it?
And they're just
From
holding
Elon
up a
Musk.
bit of a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vaccines going. Glorious Cures going in there. Multiple.
This David Warner guy, I've seen that name before. He's not a fringe artist. It's actually quite, in my opinion, it's quite encouraging to see a caricature artist doing stuff like
And
this.
look,
'cause he's
you've
not
got
fringe, is he?
the animals in the background watching, like the
Yeah,
monkey
shit,
scratching his head.
Sheep with the popcorn.
Yeah.
What's the rat? What's the rat
Well,
about?
they're just confused, aren't they? Look, the monkey's like, well,
This is a great representation of the complete opposite to life without first principles. This kind of nails it. You know, the state of existence at the moment. for the most
First
part.
principles is something that people were talking about a lot in the comment section in the Guardians. People were saying
Sure.
to me, giving me examples, is this first principles? They were talking about the virus. Could you just go a little bit deeper, just give a little rehash about what the first principles is in any given situation when you're discussing a topic?
Well, what it is, when you go into a debate, you've obviously got two opposing ideas or concepts. So in order to actually achieve anything, you need to establish the first principles. So first principles you need to find something to agree upon. If you can't do that, then you're never ever going to get a solution. And this is very, very important. Without first principles, it just means you go into a debate without solutions. So it's pointless. You're just wasting time and energy. If ever you detect that you can't establish first principles, then it's best to walk away. Save your energy.
And let's bring that right up to date as an example with COVID 1984, the pandemic, whatever we want to call our current situation, when I'm sure everyone that's watching at some stage has been in in the dark ping pong session with people. And how can we bring it, ground it into this? So what are the first principles of this pandemic that haven't been established? Are number one, how did it start? This is what me and Lee have talked about backstage before. Well, first principle, did it come from Batsuit, a pangolin, the wet market, or did it come from the level 4 virology lab? That is so far.
once you've answered that,
No, those are not the same thing.
Also, you've got the germ theory versus terrain theory.
Yes, absolutely. The other one would be,
has it been
isolated? Yeah, has it been isolated? The other one would be, is there asymptomatic, if it is a virus, if it is real, is there a non-symptomatic transmission? Because that's a big one.
sure, yeah.
There's that Chinese report that apparently with 10 million people, I tell you what, we're talking about things that we probably shouldn't talk about on Facebook.
No,
now,
no,
aren't we?
no, no. We're just
All right,
it's
big up
just,
everyone on Facebook. If it gets a little bit saucier, we'll have to cut you off. Remember, come over to Rise Above Live. The link is in the comment section. The full stream is there. We might get taken down from Facebook because we are.
Can we put the
almost
Rise
crossing the
Above
line.
Live on a banner underneath, maybe? So.
I certainly will.
Have
One
we got
sec.
that?
Let me just control the banner. So the new home of Rise Above, the full stream, is YouTube. Rise Above Live. You can now find it. We have 400 subscribers. Rise Above Live on YouTube. That is the only place you'll see the full stream.
I've just noticed as well. This dude, he's eating a lab-grown meat supplement.
Oh, some
So-
gate snack.
Yeah, Gates snack.
Jesus Christ. Right. So what's next? Right. So now we're going to talk about how this pandemic is affecting masculinity with this meme. Men in 1944 were literally facing absolute almost certain death, being mowed down by a hail of heavy machine gun fire on the beaches of Normandy.
I'd say the level of stupidity in each year would be, identical.
Yeah, because it's not smart to be a human shield.
No, it's not.
in,
It's not smart to lead yourself off to slaughter
Yeah, because let's be fair, we are not
in a blood ritual, which was
yeah.
what every war.
We're
is.
not saying it's good to be a martyr in a blood ritual.
No, and it's equally not as good to stick a mask on your respiratory
yeah.
ducts and hide behind a chair thinking you can play hide and seek from the boogeyman.
So this is basically from the latest fashion show of one of the hot spots of the fashionistas of the Soviet Union. This is what they want everyone to look like. This is
That is some
the new
trendy
masculinity.
leftist, some trendy far leftist.
Okay. And now we also have the very pressing issue in the Soviet Union this week that's really coming to the forefront this week, particularly more than ever, twice as much as last week, 3 times as much as the week before. Show me your papers, comrade. Show me your papers. It's on our goddamn doorstep, right? These sort of people, oh no, I've crossed slides there. That was to do with the masculinity. Right. Show me your immunity passport. How many times have we heard about this in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 days? It's been all over.
Chit chat, whether it's going to be to get into pubs, restaurants,
Right.
stores.
So we've got a bit of a meme here. Hand job and Lord Potato Heads. No vaccine, no digital immunity, no entry. You get the idea. Well, check this out. Check this out.
It's been a while since anyone was ID'd at the pub, but soon this could be your passport to a pint.
Here we go, your QR code, please.
The app doesn't check whether you're old enough, but immune enough to come in.
Yep, all good.
Its developer got a government grant to design one way to scan your records
It's consensual.
with your permission, which could check if you've had a vaccine.
We've had an airline interested, which I can't tell you about. It's confidential.
And how much interest have you had in this from the government?
We know they're actively looking at it, and we have.
All right, I don't want to copyright.
Right, I want to know who this guy is.
Right, I don't.
Which pub is this? I want to know who's in the area. Okay.
All I'm going to say is we showed you last week in Israel that they were doing this in supermarkets. Well, it's right on our doorstep now. It's what to go into the
literally what all the conspiracy theory tinfoil hat people were saying literally right at the start of this.
Yeah, you can't say you were a could you?
it's exactly what everyone was saying, and everyone was like, no, the government would never do anything like that. And now look at it.
Yeah, absolutely
That's it.
unbelievable. What are you saying in the Guardians?
Well, I always say my body, my choice. This goes totally against that.
He
But
said it would be consensual, though.
well, yeah, more like coerce. But
Yeah,
the thing is, using the term "rise above," I think it's time that everybody rises above, and there's not going to be a new normal or old normal to return to. It's a case of creating your own version of reality.
absolutely.
Wise words.
Wise words from Master Lee, as always. And one thing I'm going to say right here, whoever this guy is with his
Yeah,
weird,
that's what I'm talking
with his
about. Who
weird
is this guy,
Satan eyes,
and which
let's
pub
get him
is
back.
this?
He says he's developed this app. I don't give a shit what app he's developed. Lord Schwab himself has developed the Commons Pass.
Yeah.
You think they're going to use this douchebag's app?
This is
He
just
goes,
some-
I'm going to sell it to an airline. No, you're not. Your app's only going to work in your own pub, you knobhead. Like, you've got some of the most highly advanced conglomerates, tech companies, the WEF, MasterCard,
you got people putting
scurrying to get this peasant passport
you got
for you. You're going to take
nanotech,
this,
and
guys?
yeah, exactly.
Come on, have it off, mate. All right, next. Done that. Okay, so here, wherever this came from, I don't know. how to cope with vaccine jealousy while you wait for term. This is an article from.
This is absolutely.
actually,
It's
a bit old. It's a bit
pathetic
old.
at this point.
This is crazy, and it's from something called Very Well Mind, which you would assume is to do with mental health. Really, vaccine jealousy, like you're standing in lines to get your vaccine, and you're actually jealous of the people in front of you. What are you going to get? Vaccine rage?
I think what it means is that people that aren't in the age group.
Oh right, not if you're literally.
If you're a healthy 30-year-old guy and you haven't been called up to get your vaccine yet, they'd be jealous that your parents have been stuck with it.
I dropped a bomb in a famous musicians comments section on Facebook this week. Stanton Warriors, which are a very famous DJ.
Seen Stanton Warriors.
They've been putting these sort of open questions about the vaccine, and they said, look, there's an article. You can go to Ibiza this summer and you can party if you have a digital vaccine passport. And they posted it, and I just couldn't resist it.
Yeah.
My comment was something along the lines of, if you think it's a good idea to have this experimental technology injected into your body purely so that you can visit Ibiza this summer, that is beyond tragic.
So go and get drunk on a beach, and listen to some shit
Of
music.
all places to go to Ibiza.
Can I ask? I'm going to be asked loads of questions, but I'm going to ask a question to the chat room or to yourselves, or if anybody's got access to Google. Quickly.
Chat room, you're listening. Master Lee is questioning.
Right. I was informed this week that the paperwork that comes with the vaccine, it actually says that once you've had the vaccine, that you're not allowed to have sex for 28 days.
Wow.
Can anybody confirm this? Also, if you're able to get hold of the papers that comes with the vaccine, if you publish it on, say, Facebook, you'll get a serious ban, probably for life.
Loads of people have. I've seen it.
The paperwork
I've seen them.
You can't have sex for 28 days after the vaccine.
Oh no, not
Yeah,
that.
so what Lee's saying is that
there's
some paperwork which comes with the
I've seen
with
that.
the vaccine.
No, I've seen a screenshot of that. Someone screenshotted and they highlighted in very small print.
So is that legit or is that
as you shouldn't have unprotected intercourse 28 days
for 28 days?
I've seen other things saying that the Pfizer
was
and
there
the
any
Moderna
reasoning
can
for-
get
was there
passed
any
on from a
reasoning-
man to a woman through intercourse.
What's the reasoning behind this for the other one that you shouldn't have sex 28 days? What
the
did they
official
say the
reasoning,
reason is?
I don't know. That it was super ambiguous.
Alarm bells should be fucking ringing here for people.
Mate,
Come on.
God.
Well,
God, anyway.
there's one thing that's been bugging me when I see people saying, almost celebrating that they've had their vaccine. I'm actually wondering, did they read any of the paperwork?
Oh, what do you mean, like this guy here?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow,
mate, what a bit of synchronicity. My slideshow was pre-prepared, Master Lee.
He's
Literally,
got
as you said that, this is the next slide.
He's got the Solomon star in the form of the atom.
Is that like the spinning
symbol.
Solomon star that
Yeah,
he's got?
it's the-
The Terra Gripper nuclear
Just
nanotech.
join it up
He's
and
got
you've
it
got- that's
Solomon.
the
What a
Terra Gripper.
douchebag.
Solomon star.
The level of absolute ignorance you would have to think that this was a good idea. I
So
mean, each
Lee,
man to his own,
Lee,
but-
what you're saying is, this dude had his vaccine, didn't probably read any paperwork, didn't even ask anyone, just trusted in it, and then he's a young guy. Probably, if he's got a missus, then went and did the boom boom thing. Maybe that night or a couple of days later. Certainly within 28 days, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's meant to be 28-day ban.
Yeah. So if he didn't know that, I mean, what are the?
What's the worst thing that could happen? You pass the nanotech on to the person that you.
So just getting back
inseminate.
to last week's stream when Lee, he did touch upon it. They advertise what they're doing. If we touched on it last week that their way of thinking to get around natural law is to put it out there. I mean, they have
Then we
technically put it
acquiesce
out
to it.
there.
If they tell us first, then we acquiesce to it, don't we?
If they believe that they've told us by putting that paperwork out with the vaccine, it doesn't matter if anyone asks to read it or not. They've provided it, and that is their way of thinking that they get around this negative impact that they're going to feel from doing these kind of activities.
Yeah. Does anybody know the name Moderna? Like the origins of it or what it might mean?
I think. I mean, I heard it's RNA at the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I got told modernized or modified RNA.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I heard exactly the same thing. Yeah, modified RNA.
Yeah. So it's kind of like in your face, really.
RNA.
So
Right, sorry. Don't be afraid to take control of the stream.
no,
Joe.
no. For the next slide, mate. I think we were.
Now, here is something which I made a comment which upset some people. This guy, he's a doctor. He, before taking either Moderna or Pfizer miracle cure, made some comments online along the lines of like, "Oh, I'm having my 5G antenna fitted. Oh, Bill Gates is going to be controlling me." He made loads of
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, loads of sort of goading posts about people that were concerned about this new piece of biotech, which was going into our ultimate biotech, as in the Guardians described it last week. Well, yeah, he died very shortly after the vaccine.
Wow.
Natural law in full effect. That's I'm gonna be honest with you. This is Rise Above. You know me. I said, I think I said basically he got exactly what he wanted. And that's what he did. I said no great loss. He got what he deserved. Because if this guy has read all the information that people have sent him about the potential dangers, and then he's gone back and taken the piss out of them while taking it, natural law, as my understanding dictates to me, dictates that he got what he deserved, doesn't it?
Well, it would
I mean,
appear so.
I will mourn for his family, but this guy, if someone gave him the information,
he manifested it
and he
himself.
took the piss out of them. And said, yeah, I'm getting my 5G nanotech upgrade.
So I've got a mate who actually was getting his this Wednesday just gone, and he said I spoke to him on Monday, and he said to me, "Yeah, I'm getting it done Wednesday." And I asked him, he said he's happy he's getting the Pfizer one, because he said everyone he spoke to who's had the Oxford one in the UK's had little, felt a bit rough afterwards. And he said to me, he made a joke. He said, "I'm going to be connected to the Borg." That's what he said to me.
My auntie,
because he knows how I feel about it. I have a laugh with him about it and tried to say stuff, but he's not interested.
My auntie had AstraZeneca. Touch wood, she didn't get sick because that's the one that's got the live virus in it.
Yeah,
Apparently,
both my parents have had the AstraZeneca.
Yeah, and that's the one that's ended a lot of people. Anyway, sad news. But karmic universal law, got what we asked for. Am I being harsh in a Guardians? Is that a misinterpretation of a karmic natural law as the universe dictates? Free will?
Well, I generally try and stay away from that sort of thing because there's a lot of factors that can come into play without knowing the first principles. As an example of his situation, I mean, okay. I don't know the guy, so
fair comment. Yeah, first principles would be: was it actually the vaccine that killed him, rather than him just being, I don't know, obese or diabetic? Yeah. So once
we're
again,
not privy to certain information.
Yeah, first principles. Exactly.
Real talk.
Now,
what else was going on in his life? I guess.
Look at this. I was
going to jump in before, guys.
Sorry, spoke a word. No, go ahead, mate.
I've got an echo here, so I might have to jump in and out. When we were talking about the 28 days. Okay, so I've got an echo on my end. My gut instinct when I heard that, based on how a lot of these corporations usually work, is when they've already admitted to some degree this is an experiment that's been rolled out, they don't want anyone getting pregnant whilst they're injected with this virus and whilst it's still having an effect for those first 28 days, because they don't know what the outcome will be. That's my gut instinct.
Sure. So, I mean, my whole
whilst they actually go out there and put it out there and say don't have sex within 28 days.
My whole issue about all of this rushed through, all these vaccines that have been rushed through is they claim they're safe. They claim they've been extensively tested, but there's not the physical time to test that. It takes 9 months to cook a baby, a human baby. It takes 9 months, and how long do they have the vaccine out?
Well,
how they were started giving it trials.
We know that it was definitely being developed in at least January 2020.
From the point of which it was on trial to then rolled out to the public, they can't tell the effects from a baby.
I'm sure that Pfizer paperwork basically says that we are in phase 3 of the trials, or phase 4. The trials never finished. They're still ongoing. Everyone, we apologise for the echo on Word Nerd. It was the first time he really spoke there, and hopefully it'll be sorted out. Word Nerd, could you just speak a little bit more to see if the echo still happens?
Aye, testing. Okay, that sounds like
talk about the slide, Word Nerd, mate.
Talk about what?
Slide.
Mate. Word Nerd, what are you saying about this slide? We've got a new slide on the show. Is that a strange choice for their masks?
Not when it's got the Ellen Show theme, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The Ellen Show theme is taken from where, though?
Epstein
Island with the blue and the white. Yeah. Virtue
someone said
Another
is here saying that Lee has an echo as well. One sec. Producer, have you heard any echo in Inner Guardians? Okay. All right. Inner Guardians, do you think this is a coincidence or is there something else going on here?
It's a coincidence theory of sorts. But yeah, it's more of a mockery, really.
I'll tell you.
And
I'll
also,
tell you
you
what
think-
this
you
is
think it's
saying to me.
mockery?
I'll tell you what this is saying to me. I'd say that if it could be mockery or it could be a communication.
Yes.
They're saying
just
don't
about to say
talk. Nobody talk. Anyone, the people that are in the know don't say anything. Look, they're gagged and
coded message,
gagged
maybe.
about Epstein Islands. Don't talk about it. That's what it's saying to me.
The worst thing is, I have a feeling because of what's happened in the US, that all of this Epstein Island stuff for many of the fence-sitting normies who might have started to pay attention has actually now been potentially swept under the carpet, at least in their own minds.
You don't hear much these days, do you? Really, about the Maxwell, what's going on with Maxwell, and it's not out there like it's not in your face like
Right.
it was.
Apparently, we've still got an echo
Apart from Sean
from
Atwood.
Inner Guardians. So I think what we need to do is actually have a Inner Guardians. Can we just have a little interjection from you, and we won't interrupt because we need to get you speaking for a bit to get rid of this echo.
I'll
give you another slide.
No echoing from Inner Guardians.
Is that what they're saying? So,
Legal.
okay, thank you very much, Legal. No echoing for Inner Guardians. So we just got Spoken Word Nerd. Spoken Word Nerd, you're back.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, all right. Next slide. That demon echo appears to have gone. Right, we're not going far from the last slide. We're still in the same group of islands. We're still with a similar sort of character. The real spotlight hasn't been shone down on Mr. Virgin, who's supplying my 500 mega pizzas a second internet.
I've got a very close friend.
Go on.
Who worked directly on Branson's private island.
Necker Island.
Yeah, he was
You neck someone, don't you?
He was literally right there with the man.
I remember my parents watched.
He won't come on the show, really.
He won't come on the
He
show.
won't
Oh,
come
that'd
on
be
the
good.
show. Absolutely.
But even my mum and dad watched the documentary about Richard Branson. They were like, all the staff on his island seemed like they were swingers and were like dropping hints that they have to do extra things at parties. And that was on like a mainstream TV show. It was like hinted that raunchy stuff happens.
He has told me some strange things about what happened on that island.
Well, there's and I'm sure Inner Guardians said about this. There's a lot of discourse out there on the intranet that this whole group of islands could be potentially instrumental or involved in a certain trafficking of the
And the Biden family have got one.
There's a Biden Island there.
That's it. And Maxwell was a marine expert, wasn't she? She was an expert on submarines.
Submarine license.
Such things.
Yep.
It's
And
basically
also-
a playground.
She didn't just have
Sorry,
a submarine
Inner
license. She was quite involved in the maritime industry, I believe. There's a couple of videos of her talking. Sorry, go on, Guardians.
Well, there's a combination of things. One, it's a playground. Secondly, it's connected to the maritime law. They're all islands.
Right. So that makes a lot of sense with Maxwell then.
Yeah, and also, we haven't heard much about all of this lately, but where can we get the information from? The mainstream media, for the most part.
Oh, the
Right,
echoes.
never put any of this in any kind of context. Yeah, I've got an echo here, guys.
Right, okay. I'll tell you what, let me kick. We cannot continue with the echo. Let me kick Spoken Word out into the green room and let's continue just with Inner Guardians and make sure you don't have an echo before I get Spoken Word Nerd back because I want to find out exactly who is perpetrating this goddamn echo. Right, next slide.
I'd say it's George Soros, mate.
I think it's the Soviet Union, mate. But I cannot be having it. Okay, so we've talked about these family connections.
I've seen this picture. I mean, what the fuck
I
is
didn't
that?
know
Honestly.
this Amy Schumer, this unfunny joke thief, was actually related to Chuck Schumer. Did anybody else know that?
News to me.
Can we? Oh, now we're getting loads of echo.
Wow.
Right. Is there echo on me and Andy? There should be no echo on me and Andy whatsoever. Okay, right. Inner Guardians.
Producer
could you-
says we're good here.
Okay,
Do you want
Inner
me to
Guardians.
speak?
Yeah, you speak. We'll shut up, and I'll speak to the producer.
Right, okay, I'll just talk for a minute or so. So, 20 years ago, I threw away my television in true rock star style, literally out of the window into a skip that happened to be outside my window at the time. Is it echo?
Apparently, it is still got an echo on you, which is rather
Yeah.
annoying.
Do you want to kick me out and bring back
I'm
in?
going to kick you out again. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Let me kick him out again. I'll just get Andy PG back in. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had the badass internet, but the echo still remains. Right, Inner Guardians. Inner Guardians is back.
Hello.
Let's have a 30-second synopsis about non-physical protection to check this echo, please.
Okay, so non-physical protection. As I explained last week, that a lot of things around us you can't see, but it doesn't mean to say they don't exist. So things like feelings, thoughts, thought forms, sensation, you can't actually see them or touch them, but we all know they exist and that they're real.
Okay, nice one. The echo on you is sorted. We are now going to invite Spoken Word Nerd. Right, Spoken, how you doing?
I was loving that, Leah. That came through loud and clearly then.
Right, let's have some immediate feedback to see if we have an echo on Spoken Word Nerd. We will continue when the echo is gone. Our apologies, Rise Above crew. Spoken Word Nerd.
Hey, what's
all
up?
good. Right, okay.
My tech likes Friday nights.
Yeah, they always try and shut us down. So yeah, who knew this unfunny joke stealer, this what's the name? Schumer is actually related to this Schumer. And guess what? She has some photos of her ripping apart babies.
She's essentially Pizzagate.
Yeah, I think she might be involved in that cult. Pizzagate, Inner Guardians. Let's have your interjection on that. Is it a stupid conspiracy theory?
Yes and no. I tend to go with the idea that this type of thing does take place, but equally at the same time they try and show us, they try and shock us, and also get us to think it's okay by doing nothing about it. So it's almost like we're accepting of it because they've told us, and what does anybody do? For the most part, nothing.
Yeah.
So it gives them consent to continue. But there's definitely something in this. I actually picked up on something with regards to. Yes, bear with me. I'm trying to think of the singer's name. What's the singer's name?
There's plenty to choose from. I don't blame you for forgetting the name.
John Podesta. There's John Podesta, the politician, but John Podesta's son. Chester.
Chester Podesta. Chester Bennington.
Chester Pennington.
Yeah, he's not officially a Podesta, but yeah, we've covered this. Chester Podesta.
Oh, he's a Podesta.
Yeah.
And hey, if you look Podesta next to Nelson Rockefeller, same dude, mate.
Yeah. Linkin Park. That's it. There's definitely something in this.
100%.
Oh yeah, we just had a comment from the producer. It looks like Amy Schumer here is actually doing some sort of spirit cooking, right? But what's this in the background? Is that a COVID? Because that's not a blood splatter, is it? Look.
Oh, good eye. Yeah.
Good
nice.
eye, producer. That's what you see the size of her screen over here. She's got a 50-inch screen. That's how she sees all this shit. Thank you very much for your donations, everyone. We've got a whole other screen, extra wires, and we've got a producer making sure the show is good. Rise Above, 140 people tuned in. Spoken Word Nerd, our very special guest in the Guardians, Andy PG, and myself, Double L. Up next, NPCs. This is something that Inner Guardians spoke about last night. Non-player characters. How does this speak to you, Lee?
What does it sound? The master obey.
Yes,
yeah, it's a sign of obedience. Yeah, I mean, what's the first principles on wearing a mask? Do they work?
It's supposed to be to stop the viral spread, but has that ever been established? Do we have that first principle? No.
No.
It's like throwing gravel at a chain link fence, mate.
Or trying to keep ants out with chicken wire.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered how ridiculous masks are. Let's move on. We won't dwell on that.
Yeah, just on the mask point, I've actually started to use it to my advantage because I can visibly see very easily the sort of people that I'm going to be communicating with as I approach them, if they're wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Generally speaking, when I see people without a mask, they smile at me because I'm not wearing one.
I always say to people in the shop when I see them without a mask, "Oh, nice to see another face."
Yeah.
They always laugh. They always smile.
I give them a little salute. I'm like,
"Oh, no,
big up, like, big up the bare face." I give them a wink, and then I sort of salute them. Like, "Yep, you dirty mouth breather." Look at you with your big exposed face hole right out for everyone to see.
We have to normalise it, though. We have to normalise the no mask. That's what has to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if this summer Like, because I was chatting, my brother, he lives in Thailand, and I was chatting to him earlier, and Thailand has got no restrictions whatsoever, no social distancing. He's flying to Bangkok for a business meeting. You can have tourists, but they've got to do the quarantine thing when they come in. But there's no restrictions apart from that. And also, the quarantine thing depends where you're coming from as well. Okay, we would have to quarantine for the UK.
Yeah, but
Somewhere
my
in
mate
Sweden,
that lives
why
there,
not?
he had to pay for 2 weeks.
Sure, that's what I mean.
Serious.
But you can still do it if you got the money. You can do it. But basically, what my brother is saying is, and this is Phuket as well. He can fly from Phuket to Bangkok next week for a business meeting. No social distancing. Everyone's just got to wear a mask though.
Yeah, well,
you've just got to wear a mask, and that's the same
Bangkok
as what
people wear a mask anyway because of the pollution.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, that's
and
the thing. Asian people are closer. Yeah.
That they're in nightclubs and everything. It's but they just got to wear a mask. It's just
no one's
going to
stop. No one's going to stop the Arabs from doing what they want.
Just weird.
And they're not going to. Then those rich Arab oil nations. They're not going to be part of the Great Reset. They're going to be building the cyber cities for us. They're building the.
Well, they're all masked up, aren't they?
Yeah, but they don't mind wearing a mask.
That's weird. Man.
Southeast Asians are sort of already conditioned to wearing a mask because
I get
of the pollution.
I get it.
Chinese
where
people.
they drive motorbikes and scooters and stuff like that, and the pollution is like really bad.
Yeah, but it's not only that, they burn stuff. Like when I went to Laos in one of my videos, my travel videos, I'm stood outside this like nightclub in the jungle, and it's the most beautiful, pristine thing you can see. And there's a pile of rubbish.
It's just burning.
It's not just normal rubbish. It's like plastic
tires.
It's like old tires. And the dude just lighting it in the middle of the jungle. Like, mate, what are you doing? Yeah. And they're trying to light it with a plastic bag. They don't. Unfortunately, some people's minds have been destroyed by communism, and they don't even have any education to teach them how to do things.
Sure.
And they have no idea that burning a massive pile of plastic in a pristine jungle environment is bad for the ecosystem. They just have no idea.
I like to sometimes follow the illogical fallacy. So, as an example, with the mask, you create a viral load. Yeah, according to the science that we're told, there's a viral load. Now, that means if you touch that mask, that means you've contaminated your hands. Now, if you stand in a shop, and I've done this quite a lot of times, stand in the queue, I watch people and I count how many times they touch their mask and then either touch objects or their card or cash or whatever. So basically, they're transferring the viral load onto that. From that information, for me, they're the spreaders of a viral load, if there is such a thing.
I totally agree. Whenever I see people wearing those surgical masks out and about, first thing I think, that seems disgusting.
They just pull it out of their pocket, man.
Well, not only that, it seems like in The Guardian says, it seems like a massive catalyst for needing to touch your face.
Yeah.
People, I watch them, they are constantly fiddling with their face. I mean, I walked out of Sainsbury's today and I saw two morbidly obese people. One of them was in like a mobility scooter, and they both pulled down their surgical mask that had stain. The mask clearly visibly had stains on them from repeated use, and they were wheezing. One of them was just about walking, the other was on a mobility scooter. They just about got out of the door, pulled down their mask, and instantly like lit up a cigarette. I'm just like, and that's the type of person that will stand around and is like, why aren't you wearing a mask? You need to worry about my health too. You're the inconsiderate one. And I'll tell you what, I don't give a shit. If any of those people say that to me, I'll say, you didn't ever worry about your health, so why should I have to? And I don't care if that's offensive. It's just real. Rise above.
Should we move on from masks?
Let's move on.
No, hold on. Sorry, Lee. What were you going to say, mate? What were you going to say?
No, I was going to say, just this is a little bit of a funny one. I saw somebody smoking a cigarette, driving their car, wearing a mask.
What? Smoking a cigarette? So how is this being done?
They push the mask into the mouth.
Through the fabric.
Yeah, so I suppose it acts as some kind of extra filter.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right. So at least it was not as bad as just regularly smoking a cigarette.
Well, you mean, sucking extra hard on that.
Right. While we're on this subject, I saw an amazing post this week, which actually came off the back of a Bill Gates talk. Did anyone see that talk that Bill Gates did in the Natural History of Museum of History, History Museum, whatever, where he's on a big screen and someone's talking to him. He's next to the fucking T-Rex. He said something along the lines, right? He's basically trying to demonize cows and how much methane.
Sure, yeah, no, I have seen this.
Obviously, he's now the world farmer, and no one's going to ever eat.
He says they account for a huge amount of greenhouse gases.
He said they give out more harmful gases, right, than cars do. Yeah,
cars, planes, and boats combined.
So someone said, "Okay, Bill Gates, lock yourself all night in a garage.
That's it.
With a cow. and then do the same with a car with the engine running and see what happens.
No, the guy said, "I'll lock myself in a garage with a cow,
That's
and
it,
you
that's
lock
it.
yourself in a garage with a car."
Yeah, and
with the engine on
I
all night.
came in the comment section. I said, I'll get Bill Gates and I'll lock him in a garage all night
Yeah.
with Inner Guardians, and Inner Guardians is not allowed to touch him. Right? He's got 6 hours alone with Bill Gates, and he's only allowed to use non-physical, metaphysical means of attack. Bill Gates will come out like an absolute
I don't
chance
know,
in a
mate.
Gates
You don't
milkshake.
know what Bill Gates knows.
I don't
He
think
he might put a hex on our man in a Guardian.
What are you saying in the Guardians? Do you think he's got any actual occult powers? If
it is even Bill
like
Gates.
these level people, your
If
Soroses,
it even is him,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean that's debatable as to whether he's actually alive or he's
I
somewhere
think we
else.
come back to first principles.
yeah,
again,
but
don't we?
whoever the figure is, if it is Bill Gates or not, is irrelevant. The person we're talking about, who's Bill Gates now, do you think this person has got some fucking dark?
I've
knowledge?
already spoke about
No.
that. No,
you
I
don't?
think so. No.
You think he's a lackey, essentially?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
good.
even
news.
think he's that smart.
No, I
No,
don't
nor do
either.
I, no.
I think he's just one of a psychopath with the right skills.
I think he was given his tech, the same as Elon Musk has been
Yeah.
given his tech to bring out.
Yeah, back in the day,
Yeah,
like
he was
like you
a
were
shoe
saying,
in at IBM.
sorry, Gates got a shoe in
Go on.
IBM.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
what you
yeah.
said?
Through his daddy's connections. Yeah.
Yeah, they were through his daddy's connections. They were there with this eugenicist and the whole group that was down with IG Farben, which was the parent company. It was like the umbrella company for the Nazi war machine. One of its subsidiaries was IBM. Little tidbit of information for anyone who doesn't know: IBM, International Business Machines. Does anybody know what the first ever patented contraption they came up with was?
Go on.
It was the clocking machine at Auschwitz.
No.
Yep.
Ooh, nice company.
Yeah.
Nice company.
Yeah, yeah, but Mercedes, they built cars for the Nazis. I drive for Merck. Hugo Boss made
Put
the
that in your
uniform.
pipe and smoke it, Lewis Hamilton.
Oh God, don't get me started on him. What an absolute walking contradiction.
Shill.
Might talk about Tiger Woods later though.
Yeah, we'll have a little chat about Mr. Woods.
Why not? Right, so we won't dwell on this. The New York Post on the 18th of November 2020, they said, man who died after falling 10 feet from a ladder was actually killed by COVID-19, say doctors. On February the 14th, the same newspaper says a California woman of 78 gets COVID-19 vaccine, then suddenly dies of something else. Sound familiar? You bet it does. Right, more crazy shit from the Soviet Union. This is when schools reopen. The music class will be conducted. Here is the band. Everyone has to stand in green.
This has got to be,
it's not
dribble,
This
man.
is real.
Come on.
The trombone player's number 8, so they know who's who, because obviously the conductor's also in one of these two, so he can't see who is who through the green tent. I mean, this is real. That's the stupidest thing. This
Where's
really
the
is
line,
real.
guys? Where's the line?
Mate, Inner Guardians drew the line a week ago.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
way
for these
past it.
people I'm talking about.
We're way past it. So because we're going to get a little bit serious in a minute when in the Guardians we open up the floor, we get loads of questions, we talk about everything you spoke about last week. So we're going to have a bit of a laugh for the next 10 or 15 minutes before we kick out everyone that's on Facebook and on Double LMC. So when you're driving past the clinic and you see all the people lined up for their COVID jab, well, this is what it looks like.
I mean, you got just a load of Ronald McDonald's all staring you down. But that's unfortunately what it's come to, though. I would say it's now a virtue if you're in the club kind of thing. If you've got your vaccine, I'm seeing that all
unfortunately.
on social media. Yeah, you're in the club. You got your vaccine. You're in the club.
It's a badge of honor or a cult, maybe.
Oh, but this is a good one. Yeah,
This
I saw
is
that.
great.
I saw
I really
the
like
sale.
this. Really, really like this. No, I'm not in your cult. I say no. Right. I've just had a word from the producer. This slideshow is almost coming to an end. We are in a minute going to be switching off the Facebook streams and the Double LMC stream. The only place we'll be is on Rise Above Live. It's in the comments it's in the description of the stream. Please share it. Please like the stream. And if you want to ask a question directly to Inner Guardians, please put it in the comment section and use hashtag Pepe, P-E-P-E. That's why we know, like Pepe the Frog. That's
Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew. Please hashtag Pepe for a question directly to Inner Guardians. We've got a producer. She's watching over there. She's writing everything down, and we're going to have an open forum chat about non-physical, physical protection,
About anything.
about anything esoteric, occult in our current situation, anything we covered last week, and anything we didn't. So 10 minutes more, and then we'll be saying goodbye to our Rise Above Light broadcast, and we'll be going straight, not down the rabbit hole, we'll be going for the full mother faux rabbit. All right? Okay. So we need to stop identity theft, because it seems like influenza has left its details out. Someone has seen them and is getting loans, bank accounts, mortgages, international deals in its name, has rebranded itself and stolen Flu's identity.
Sure.
I think this is quite good. They're red and blue as well. It's very archetypal. It's so archetypal.
Well, it should be magenta.
Oh, now as we know, it's purple. The actual
It
colour
is
of COVID-19 is purple.
what do you mean the actual colour?
Well, that's
the
what they
colour
said.
of what?
The colour of the first CGI representation of COVID-19 was purple for sure. Right. Okay. So I really like this one. I don't know who drew this, but
Look at his teeth.
Yeah.
His teeth.
Right, spoken word knows back again. He'll be in for 30 seconds before the COVID.
Go back, go back to
Sorry,
the gates. That was a bit quick.
we're only 1 hour in. We've got 4
that was
more
a bit
hours.
quick. Come on, go back.
Sorry, guys. Right, let me just.
There we go. Look at this.
That's beautiful.
Hey,
What a beautiful bit of work.
That should be signed. Someone we need to know.
Yeah, we need to give some credit.
Is
for
he
that.
pressing the reset button?
Nah, he hasn't got his finger on the reset button. Only Lord Schwab.
Lord Schwab.
So, is that Ratzinger or is that the new one? I get mixed up. That's the new one. He looked. Ratzinger looked much more.
This is the one that slaps their hand when they try to kiss it.
Oh yeah, in the music video.
slaps
For everyone
it
who
away.
saw the music video at the start, he slaps the Chinese woman's hand away.
Well,
He's like,
there's
"Stop
quite a lot of
touching me.
footage on of
Stop
him
touching
doing
me,
that.
peasant."
There's loads of footage of him doing that, and loads of times before the pandemic.
Big up Magic
when
Hurricane
anyone
in the
tried to
comments.
grab his hand and kiss him like they do with the Pope, that they've done for thousands of years, whatever. Yeah,
But then he goes around kissing people's feet.
Yeah, and ripping people's foreskins off with his teeth.
Biting people's foreskins. So instead of storming Area 51, don't bother. Just storm the Vatican. They can't rape us all. Right. This meme here, I'm not Christian. As time goes by, as the days go by, as the assault on authentic reality continues, this makes more and more true. If you've heard about it. What, you familiar with this in the Guardians?
Yeah, not in detail, but I have actually seen this.
I believe it's sort of maybe a King James Bible represent. It's a fairly newish Bible representation of something a little bit older, I believe. Yeah,
To
so
me,
we
this metaphor works whether you're Christian or not.
It does. Thank you, spoken word. And it does work, whether you're Christian or not, to get through the current times. Put on the helmet of salvation, the foundation of which the warrior stands. The breastplate of righteousness, to protect the warrior from the evils of the world. The shield of faith, to extinguish the arrows of the evil ones. All their archontic representations. The the denying force, as in the Guardians put it last week. However that manifests. Sandals of readiness, to leave a righteous trail to others to follow. The belt of truth, stand firm in the word of God, whatever God means to you. The sword of the Spirit, used to attack his enemies with the word of God.
The last two, that's all that needs to be there.
Replace the word God with truth.
That's all that needs to be there.
If
The
that's
belt
better
of
for you.
truth and the sword of the Spirit. That's all that needs to be
I
there.
don't know. I quite like the breastplate of righteousness.
You don't
personally.
need that if you've got the belt of truth.
But what if the Antichrist tries to stab you in the chest with a symphony of?
It doesn't exist, mate.
Well, I don't know. We've been.
Can I just
Don't manifest. Don't
chime in?
manifest.
Yeah, oh no, please do.
Yeah, well, if you look at that meme again, if you look at all the qualities that are mentioned, they're all non-physical.
Wow. They
Salvation,
are.
righteousness, faith, readiness, truth, spirit.
But they're all juxtaposed with a physical piece of armor.
Exactly, yeah.
Very interesting. Thank you for pointing that out. So,
So
yeah.
the only one here that's wielding as a weapon is the Spirit. Everything else is for protection. Or not
Yeah.
that sword's not to protect yourself, but I mean that's for an attacking. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's not on the offensive.
Offense.
You're
yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah. So I mean, the first time I saw this, I thought, that's a bit Bible bashing, but yeah.
Well, again, it's just symbolic, isn't it?
Archetypally,
that's what it is.
archetypally,
Sure.
I'm down with this. I'm totally down with it. Right, Magic's sent me these. These are just a little collage of some little
Oh, yeah,
tidbits
this
from like
George
the entertainment
cut
news.
these
So we've
earlier.
got top left, Lady Gaga. This is all within the last week.
This
Actually,
one was
sorry,
really weird.
This is all within the last 3 days. Lady Gaga's dog walker reportedly shot in the chest. See, some of these retirements, okay, assassinated Libyan interior minister. Yeah, interesting. Child porn charges. Okay, there were much more than this. I didn't have time to compile it because I know we got so much.
There was
to talk about.
loads this week.
So I think the general idea is last 7 days, a lot of people have been. Well, look at Tiger Woods. What happened to him? I don't know, but to me, it looks like that story's bullshit. Kedawami Asini, when he comments, we put it on the screen.
He's got Pepe there. We'll leave it.
Okay, right. Can you write down Kedawami's question, baby?
Producer's got it. Producer's on it.
Producer, you got that question?
The producer's all over it.
Nah, she's listening to the delayed stream.
She's on it.
All right, she's on it. All right, we'll come back to that one. Questions are coming soon. Right, here's a good one. This is the big story from this week. Right, the Queen. And I want your comments on this in The Guardian. The Queen has famously spoken out about people refusing the vaccine. Okay? It was all over the papers. So people are selfish. Right? I'd like to go back to Christmas message of the Queen. We showed this. This, for anyone that missed it, was on Channel 4. This is the Alternatives Queen's message. This was admitted as being a deep fake. We all know what deep fakes are. I would argue this is a deliberately shit deep fake. Because what I'm about to show you is what the Queen actually said a couple of days ago. And I'm going to propose that is a deep fake as well. So here's the official deep fake.
Have finally understood how it feels to have a predicament on the throne.
The voice is wrong and the face is clearly transposed onto the body. Let's go to the next slide. This is apparently the real Queen. Check this.
Well, once you've had the vaccine, you have a feeling of, you're protected.
It zooms in a sec.
Which is, I think, very important. And as far as I can make out, it was quite harmless. It was very...
Yeah, we need to get a full screen on that, and I need to go back. Look at the Queen's face very carefully.
Look at the chin and look at the neck behind it, and where the traps would be.
And also look at
where the head meets the shoulders.
Look at the other people on the panel and look at how they pixelate, right? You should assume that the Queen should have at least the same level of internet connection and cameras as them, if not much better. It's the Queen.
You're protected, which is, I think, very important. And as far as I can make out, it was quite harmless.
Look at the
It
chin.
was very quick. And I've had lots of letters from people who've been very surprised by how easy it was to get the vaccine. And the jab was it didn't hurt at all. It is obviously difficult for people if they've never had
Awful. It's really poor.
Right, I want some comments on this. Comment
It's
section,
really
guys.
poor job.
Is anyone else watching this? Is anyone seeing? Right, Lee Boy G is saying that Lizzie croaked 2 years ago. I've heard the story that she finished in 2018. Graham B is saying so fake. Nick Glenister saying she is brown bread. In the Guardians, could I have your opinion? Does this look real to you?
It's definitely not real. It's definitely a virtual copy.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's a very poor one. She's not looking at the screen. The voice is the face. The whole way the face is presented. It's not pixelated. It's not smooth.
I watched this 5 times before I sent this.
It looks rendered. Yeah, and thank you for sending that to me, Andy.
It is obviously difficult for people if they've.
That was a 30-second highlight.
What I can't believe that happened on Channel 4 at Christmas time. This has to be.
We played it straight away. What did we say to everyone? Why are they doing it?
Check this out. This did cross my mind, right? What if whoever is opposing the deep state, the opposing force, like the people on who's I'll call it our side, have deliberately put this out for us to know it's complete bullshit.
Well,
the same as the video at the
confirmation.
Confirmation kind of thing. Without
well, that could be true. Or if it's true, what we think about these dark occultists, these Saturnists, whatever, that they like to mock us.
Because I can't
believe
to use
double inversions.
These guys have got nanotech, man. Like they're not going to put.
I said it at Christmas. If they wanted to deepfake something, even the best technology that's available to these people, the best eyes in the world would not be able to tell.
Was better than that.
I know. Well, the comment section. Well, hey, look at Fab _Novicelli. Thank you. Brand new to Rise Above. Welcome to Rise Above, Fab. Real or not, the message is fake. Absolutely.
Correct.
Goddamn right.
Correct.
Right. Next slide. I don't know where I found this. Downloading books into your brain. Dr. Alex sponsored. This is a sponsored ad on Instagram, like Neo from the Matrix. Except
So
books, except books, way too slow.
This connects in with what we got from Israel, out of Israel a couple of months ago. They said they've got the technology to beam music directly into your brain.
Oh, and if you want to get something beamed directly into your brain from anywhere, where would you get it from? Directly from the IDF in Israel. That's the best place to get your music. Forget Spotify, forget YouTube Premium.
Directly from the
Zionist mainframe. That's where you want it from. You can't. Oh, sorry, you can't see the slide, guys. This is the slide. This guy is called Dr. Alex, and he wants to download books directly into your brain. Thank you very much, producer. That's
so yeah, like yeah, was they're beaming music into your brain. You'll download books directly into brain. You know, this is getting a bit weird now.
In the Guardians, is this part of the synthetic universe that you've been talking about in your post and last week?
Are they testing it?
Yeah, they're well on the way to not necessarily achieving it, but in terms of informing everybody. I don't watch television. Like I was saying before, I threw my television away 20 years ago. And it's only this year that I've started watching the series Black Mirror.
Oh, I shared your post, didn't I?
Yeah, about 10 years old, I believe. And what I would recommend anybody to watch Black Mirror. It's probably better to watch it in 2021 than it was in 2010. Because pretty much
for the uninitiated, nobody would have got it back then. People would have thought, this is weird, this is strange. Who thought of this? I didn't. I watched it. I was like,
Jaw on the floor.
Charlie Brooker has gone to the lodge. Must be a modern day George Orwell, Charlie Brooker or something.
Yeah. This is they're just testing the water.
What's the other word? Predictive programming, soft disclosure. They're all part of the same idea, really, isn't it? When it comes
TikTok.
to media, to Hollywood.
It's just you know, maybe the first step to transhumanism.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to make transhumanism sound fucking cool.
I wonder how this works.
Get Spotify directly into my head.
You know, how does this work? Do you have to have a receiver in your head? Is this like?
Oh well. What have we been talking about? I mean, we were talking about Schwab Tech. What's Elon Musk going to do when he puts that whole?
Yeah, but that's you've got to have the Musk tech for that. But I'm saying these guys do, just basically like a ray gun directly to your brain.
Musk tech.
Oh
no, the Israeli tech literally just beams it directly to your brain. You don't even need a receiver.
So they could.
Oh mate, they've already been doing that for years.
Yeah, it's just beaming it into your head on a low level.
In the Guardian said last week about this 5% phenomenon. Whatever we think we know, and I've heard this before. The most cutting edge shit you see on the Science Channel, not on mainstream TV. You go onto satellite and you find the cutting edge shit on the Science Channel. The badass thing that they've just done when they grew the ear on the back of the mouse. That's 5%. And I've always heard this when I've watched the story of Insiders. The highest level of shit you'll ever be seen in the public sphere is 5% of what they've got. And you said 5% last week, didn't you, in the Guardians? What we know is 5% of the greater knowledge 5%. Of the 5% of the 5%. Yeah. Like the visible light thing, we perceive 0.5 of this tiny fraction of 5% of the universe, which is visible light. The rest is invisible light.
Yeah,
exactly. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember some things. I know I get it wrong sometimes. People always pull me up. You fucking said that wrong. I do. Say a lot of stuff, though. Can't help it.
Can I just mention something about Black Mirror?
Yes, go on.
Sorry to go backwards.
No, sorry.
But there's one particular series that if you can't be bothered to watch the whole lot, which to be honest, I haven't watched all of them, but one that really stood out to me was, I believe it's called White Christmas.
Okay.
White Christmas, yeah, White Christmas. So that kind of will give you a very good overview with regards to this synthetic type soul harvesting, essence stealing type of thing.
Sure. Essence stealing.
Quite scary. It'll give you a nightmare.
Yeah, it is scary. It is very scary, especially to people who don't know. This is what we're talking about. Like, with if you have to, this red pill is going to be forced down you. Like, it's getting to the
take it while it's red before it turns black. Before it turns black. Right. So everyone that's putting comments in the questions section, or questions in the comment section rather, the producer is writing them all down. So don't worry. We haven't got to the open forum yet. We're still going through this week's slideshow. So
we're just having a chat.
We're having a chat. Like last week was an onslaught, and I know Lee doesn't like to lecture too much. He said let's keep it open this week. So let's get some. Got some Dark Crystal. Yeah, Lee Boy G, Dark Crystal again. I know we brought it up last week. It's an amazing metaphor for this essence harvesting that Inner Guardians was talking about. back to the NPC topic. Let's bring it back down to earth a little bit. NPC says to Tim Pool, "No one is above the law." Because what about BLM? Goddamn racist, you white supremacist.
How dare you?
Although he's not white, he's technically Hispanic. No logic from the NPC crowd, though. As we've been saying since day one, calling out BLM, Antifa, all of this classic divide and conquer Soviet bullshit.
There were some brilliant videos that we shared like earlier streams, though, weren't there? About when they went into towns when they just threw in a ditch at one point, didn't they?
They went into there was a group of about 15, 20 Antifa, all some had
like
weapons,
just soy boys as
all,
well, weren't they?
all blacked up, balaclaved up, all dressed like ninjas, and they went into some rural neighborhood, and a bunch of what they would call rednecks, or
they run them into a ditch.
They could be called. They got
them into a ditch.
They literally
they
pushed them into a ditch,
poking him with sticks and stuff. It's brilliant.
Absolutely epic. They picked the wrong goddamn neighborhood. Still, they'll get what's coming to them. What's up next? Okay, so we're going to take it to the US now, and we've got a little meme here comparing, or rather critiquing, a corporate media comparison between Donald Trump and Adolf Hitler. A lot of people drew this comparison, but there are actually some comparisons between Trump and Hitler. They both stole the crowd. Me and the producer, we've been watching some stuff about Hitler's speeches recently and about how Hitler trained for his speeches. Back in the day, not many people know this. Before Hitler came along in the Weimar Republic, the other German politicians would literally stand in front of a microphone that wasn't anywhere near them, and they would read off a page in monotone. Like this. And to my people in the okay, super boring, no training whatsoever,
no practice,
nothing.
Nothing.
Hitler went to stage school to learn how to command the crowd, and he came along, Voitsprung meinen people, and he's doing all the hand signals, and the dude believes it, and he didn't take over by just by force. He made people vote for him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm not wrong. I know there's the brown shirts and everything. I can see some reasons that people might draw this comparison.
And we always know that they just use the same shit, but just change it slightly. It's always same, but different.
Do you see any comparisons in the fanatic rise to power between Hitler and Trump for their followers in the Guardians?
Yeah, well, basically what happens is a void is created because of lack of common sense and purpose to the people, and then that allows somebody to step in. Now, I wouldn't say Donald Trump is
the people.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be fair. We're not saying that Donald Trump is as bad as Hitler, but they were both an answer to a problem, because not many people know that the void that Hitler was filling was the Weimar Republic. And in Germany, the Weimar Republic in the late 1920s, off the back of the Great Depression and the First World War, had a lot of problems, not just economical, cultural too. There were child prostitutes on the street, for example. It was it's a bit like the fall of the Roman Empire. Oh no, Trance DJ, please.
We're not saying he's Hitler.
We are critiquing the comparison. I'm a Trump fan. I thought Trump was cool. As any world leader goes, as ever politician, I'd have voted for Trump. I thought it was all right. He seemed to be at least pretending, or at least appearing to be opposing the opposing force. We're not on that tip. I just got the meme up for fun. Right.
I think it's important not to almost place like your salvation on any of these characters.
No,
if you do a bit of research, like Prescott Bush, if you want to research the name Prescott Bush,
which is George Bush's father,
grandfather,
senior George Bush's father.
Yeah. Well, he I mean, I can't prove this, but if you look on if you Google it, it will say that he financed Adolf Hitler. So it's kind of like a very small world.
I've heard that.
Well, but it was through those companies that we spoke about earlier, I believe, through IG Farben and through these war machines. And I think the understanding is that Prescott Bush was an agent for like the Wahlberg and the sort of Rockefeller Rothschild financing thing, and they were basically financing both sides of a war machine. Which, mate, I think you're absolutely right. I don't even think that's conjecture, mate. I think that's actually, you could pretty much prove that.
Well, about 5 years ago, I tried to post something on Facebook with regards to Prescott Bush. And this is before the fact-checking phenomena. And guess what? Facebook wouldn't let me put it up.
What a surprise.
That was 5 years ago.
on the subject of Facebook and Zuckerberg, aka Sugar Mountain, as we call him, because I'm sure you know that's what Zuckerberg means, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you see in the last week, Project Veritas, James O'Keefe? And big up Oma Beats, because Oma Beats on Wednesday brought this to my attention. I went to the music studio. By the way, everyone, a little intermission. I tried to set up a music stream from his studio. Oma Beats' computer ain't good enough. So he's going to come here next week. We're going to do some tunes for you. Anyway, he showed me Project Veritas, a clip of Zuckerberg, a secret transmission to Facebook staff. And do you know what Zuckerberg said? And he leaked it. Zuckerberg said, "We have no idea about the future implications of the Pfizer and Moderna jab. We don't know what the implications are for altering your genetics."
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah. Now, here's the crazy thing. If I played everyone that clip right now, because we're still on Facebook, it would get taken down because it violates Facebook's terms, and it would also violate YouTube's terms. We would get a strike. If I played you a video, this video, Mark Zuckerberg, right now, saying what he said to his own employees, we'd get taken down. Okay, so I'm not going to play it.
Can we put a link? Can we get a link and put it in the?
Do you want to Jamie
in
it?
the comments? Yeah, let's do that.
Go on. You Jamie it while I carry on. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. We haven't done this before. I'm going to put that screen over there. No, it's over there. You can Jamie it over there. Then I can carry on with this screen. Go on. Right. So, oh no, I can't do my slideshow. So, yeah, Hitler and Trump. It's not a comparison which I particularly like, but it's an interesting one because I think there's a lot of lies about Hitler, which you certainly can't talk about anyway. Can I just go to the next slide before you do that? You're going to Jamie that. Next slide. I don't know who made this. Magic sent it to me. We've talked about double masking and triple masking, and a very good point you brought up in the Guardians about the double and triple masking, about the hierarchy of disdain. Would you like to elaborate that? What's going to happen when first person with a triple mask sees a double or even a single masker?
Yeah, well, this is kind of like a consequence of the lack of common sense in the situation that we find ourselves in, where, so for instance, mask wearers, they tend to look down upon non-mask wearers. I get it when I walk around with no mask. They kind of look over their mask, looking down at you, and almost, in complete disdain towards you. Well, the same rule will apply to the double mask wearers, to the single mask wearers, and then you're going to get the triple mask wearers who can look down to the double and the single, and the non-mask wearers. And now, the vaccinated plus triple mask can look down on everybody.
Wow. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. So what you've actually said is now that we've actually identified the pinnacle of the hierarchy. You are potentially double dosed on your Pfizer Christmas Miracle or whatever, and your triple mask. So you can actually, according to the dictates of the Soviet Union, according to the ideology, you can actually look down on everybody. Everyone is a murderer.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at the end of the day, we're in the Soviet Union. Why not? That is proper good Soviet logic. Well, so let's just bring it back to speed here. Chancellor Biden is wearing two masks. The first, the under mask seems to have a massive rubber band that goes right around the back of his head. The over mask, so the under mask is an N95. The over mask is a surgical. I don't know if that's the right way. Hey, who knows? But the important thing is when you zoom in on the ear, can we just get the mask back on the screen for the viewers? Full screen. When you zoom in on the ear, you can see that not only was the mask made in China, Chancellor Biden himself and all his views and all of the information that's going into his ears and coming out of his mouth, that was also made in China too, in case you hadn't already worked that out. Sorry for not screen sharing early enough. Producer. Don't worry, I wasn't sharing the screen. It's okay. Right. What were you Jamie-ing over there?
Mate, I can't find it.
Oh, what?
They are.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, they are
okay.
keeping that.
So in case you wondered, well, we were a little bit shit there. It's
we could find it in our, if we a little look through the Facebook.
If
I'll see if I can find it
watching,
for the end of the show.
If Oma Beats is watching, you can send it over. Right. So on the same subject of health,
Actually, yeah.
we're coming up to our first break, by the way, where we're going to kick out our Facebook viewers and our Double L viewers. Come over to Rise Above Live. Link is in the description of the stream. How long did it take for Chancellor Biden to start dropping some bombs over in the Middle East? Not long. Syria already happened. Not good. Not good at all. I thought this was going to be a less toxic presidency, apparently. Thoughts, please?
Well, it didn't take long, did it?
What's the date today? 1 week and 4 days. Sorry, 1 month. 1 month and 4 days
Before bombs are dropped on kids.
before drone strikes just commence. At the end of the day, when they've got X amount of Lockheed Martin super tech, these massive strike drones just sat there doing nothing. They've got a whole army of psychopathic geeks with Xbox controllers ready to go. That's something I'd really like to talk about. The predictive programming of Call of Duty for the drone strike pilots. You ever thought about that in the Guardians? That all these kids playing Call of Duty on Xbox, controlling the UAVs and the drones, are actually being trained because I don't know if you know this, real drone strike pilots actually use Xbox controllers, which are, what's the word? Cross interface military tech. Yeah.
Okay, I've got the Zuckerberg vid. Should we play it?
Yeah.
So
you want to get taken down?
You found it.
Omar Beats has just sent it over to us.
Omar Beats is watching. Thank you very much.
So
put it on Facebook Messenger.
I will do, but should we drop out on these 3 platforms now, as it might get a bit tasty?
Right, okay. The time has come. Hold on.
We've got 145 people watching,
big up
guys.
Everybody tuned in. Right, our very special guest is in a Guardian.
33.
Oh, shut up. 1 hour 33.
Sorry, mate.
34.
Oh, no.
But right, okay, we're getting over it. Everyone that is tuned in on Facebook, whether it's my personal profile, I'm probably going to get banned for this, whether it's my double NNC page, guys, we're about to shut off the stream. So please check out the link in the description for Rise Above Live. We've got loads more to go. Inner Guardians hasn't even continued with his in-depth look into metaphysical protection.
You've got it, mate.
Okay, right. So, guys, we're going to take a break. Yeah, we're going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to take a break and cut off the
Inner Guardians. I'm going to put you into the green room. You'll be back soon. Andy G, I'm putting you into the green room. Right, Facebook, Double LMC on YouTube. This stream is about to cut. Go over to Rise Above right about now. We're going to get saucy. We're going to get tasty. We're going to get talking about the occult, esoteric nature of this pandemic. We're going to be bunning down the Soviet Union with word, power, and sound.
And we've got a tasty video.
And we've got a tasty video of Mark Zuckerberg talking about gene editing. We'll see you soon.
Hey stuff, I've done hundreds of hours of research into this topic. If you want to know more, check out my YouTube channel. I'm Double LMC and the show is called Rise Above. Thank you very much. Stay firm. Somebody my cab. Oh, suit your cap on cab. Yo.
2 meters, you cunt.
Step back 2 meters, then the camera scanned my facial features. It said warning, spatial breaches, observe the government speeches. Strict advice, daily releases. Don't chill at the parks and the beaches. Essential travel, they police it. We know the rules, they still repeat it. Is this about a virus? Is it a plot? What to control and divide us? Is it a problem, reaction, solution? A manufactured crisis? Depopulate body baggers, biometric ID taggers, Gates Foundation, back apparatus, sting a newborn skin like a cactus. Corona the crown of your highness, the molecule inside your sinus. This ain't Wuhan bronchitis, it's the actors and medical mafia pirates. 3 million from Obama, Dr. Fauci through Big Pharma. Move it to Wuhan, ring the alarmer. It's our virus, mate, that's karma. And Bill Gates made a prediction. Event 201 is not a fiction. He said 66 million die of corona affliction. Let me spit vocal wisdom. Nothing social but a social distance. Minds get locked in mental prisons. I hope their sentence lessens. They program fear. I shall torture the program here. The view from my porch program's clear. 2030's 10 more years. And UN made the agenda. A one world government. Epicenter, your soul in your hole in a brain in a blender. Double L's real, I'm not a pretender. I've studied their methods. 20 years with my head in the records. 20 years closely observing their MO and inner workings. Kept my ear to the ground. Sound predictions are made this time around. And my mind never swayed. I've been preparing for this day. COVID 1984 is here. MC Double L, Omar Beats crystal clear. Rise above.
Give you a taster. I've done hundreds of hours of research into this topic. If you want to know more, check out my YouTube channel. I'm double LMC and the show is called Rise Above. Thank you very much.